In this video, we will show you how to replace your serpentine belt tensioner on the Chevy Silverado with a 4.3 liter engine. This will be mounted along the front of your engine. Let's get into it. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. The tensioner is located just below your alternator here. You could carefully gain access without removing the fan shroud, but it's much easier to remove the upper fan shroud. To remove the upper fan shroud is fairly easy. There's only 4 push clips and 2 10mm headed bolts. 2 push clips and 1 10mm headed bolt on each side of the fan shroud. To remove the push clips, use a trim tool and carefully remove the center to unlock it. With that unlocked, you can make your way underneath the base of that and remove the entire thing. A quick inspection of each one of the push clips and set them aside, you will be reusing them. We'll do the same on the other side of the shroud here. Now we can move along to our 10mm headed bolts. Like I said, there's one on each side here. Let's take hold of this and carefully lift it up and out of position. A quick inspection of that fan shroud and we can set that aside. Now we have a clear view of our serpentine belt tensioner. Before we start removing this, pay attention to the belt routing. You'll find that that belt goes over some pulleys and it goes under others. Take a quick note of that. Continue on with a 3/8 drive ratchet or serpentine belt tool. We'll make our way right into this squared out notch along the front of the tensioner. Now for this, you're going to want to turn it counterclockwise. As you can tell, that releases tension from the belt and we can carefully pull it off of the alternator up above the tensioner there. Now we can remove our tool from the area. You don't necessarily have to fully remove the belt, but it is always a good idea to give it a thorough inspection. Have a look at the rib side, inspect it. If it looks like it's cracked, now's a perfect time to replace it. This belt looks fine. We'll set this aside temporarily and continue on with our 15mm headed mounting bolt holding the tensioner to the engine. Let's hold on to that tensioner. Remove the bolt, a quick inspection, set it aside for recycling. You'll find your new tensioner comes with a brand new one. And there it is, friend. Let's set that aside for recycling as well. Inspect your mounting point. Okay, let's get ready to install our brand new serpentine belt tensioner. Looking along the back side of the tensioner, you're going to find that you have one small locating tab. We need to make sure that that matches up with the locating tab port on the bracket itself, where this mounts to. It's right along the passenger side of that mounting bolt hole. Let's get this tensioner in place. Like I said, making sure everything's aligned properly. Just press it right in there. Now we can start in our 13mm headed mounting bolt by hand. We'll snug it up and then we can torque that to 37 foot-pounds. Double check to make sure it's secured properly and we'll continue on to the serpentine belt. When installing the serpentine belt, as I mentioned before, you need to make sure you have it in the proper routing, but you also need to make sure you're sitting over each one of the grooves properly. If you're off by even one groove on any one of the pulleys that are ribbed, you're going to cause serious damage to the belt and potentially some other damage. Get our 3/8 drive on here. Spin this counterclockwise. While turning this counterclockwise, you should find that you have plenty of slack, so you can slide this under the idler pulley. Release tension here. As I mentioned, double check to make sure the belt is seated properly on each and every one of the pulleys. You have several along the passenger side, but you also have some along the driver's side. Let's get this fan shroud on here. Now that we have it started in position, let's start up along the top. Start in, but do not tighten your 2 10mm headed mounting bolts. Once you have both of those started in, you can continue on with your 4 push clips. Once again, there's 2 on each side. There's one. Get the front one here. Double check to make sure it's secured along the side. Do the exact same thing on the other side of your fan shroud. Let's tighten up our 2 10mm headed mounting bolts now. Okay friends, we've got the vehicle back together. The last thing that you need to do is go ahead and start up the vehicle for approximately 5 seconds and turn it right back off. Make your way out here and triple check the belt one last time. As I mentioned, it's extremely important that you have it on right. After you're sure that it's completed properly, go ahead and close the hood and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.